Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that should concern all of us, the dangerous consequences of Bianca Censori's public nudity, especially when it comes to its impact on children. As society moves further into a world where shock value and attention-seeking behavior are glorified, the harm to children is becoming more and more evident. Let's talk about why this is a problem and why it's something we need to address right now. Bianca Censori, an architect and designer, has recently made headlines for her unapologetic approach to nudity and minimal clothing. But when a public figure like her chooses to normalize nudity as a form of fashion, it sends a dangerous message to the most impressionable members of our society, children. Let's be clear, children are not equipped to process the same images or ideas as adults. The brain of a child is still developing, and exposure to hypersexualized content like nudity in mainstream fashion can have long-lasting negative effects. Bianca's decision to display nudity in the public eye is not just a matter of personal choice, it's a decision that puts young minds at risk. Today, kids are on social media more than ever. With platforms like Instagram and TikTok, they are constantly bombarded with images and videos that normalize nudity as a symbol of beauty, success, and power. But what message does this send to children about their own bodies? What does it teach them about self-worth? When nudity is presented as a mainstream form of expression, it forces children to internalize the idea that their bodies exist to be looked at, objectified, and judged. Rather than learning about healthy self expression, they start believing that their worth is tied to their physical appearance, especially when that appearance is sexualized. This isn't just about what kids see, it's about how it impacts their mental health. Kids, especially young girls, are more likely to suffer from body dysmorphia, low self-esteem, and anxiety when they are taught to value themselves based on how they look. And when nudity is glorified in the media, it sets an impossible standard that many will feel pressure to live up to. Let's not sugarcoat it. Nudity in the public eye harms children by distorting their sense of normality. What was once considered a private and intimate matter has now been thrust into the public spotlight. And for kids who are still learning about their own bodies and boundaries, this kind of exposure is toxic. They are not ready to understand the complexity of nudity in art or fashion. What they see is simple. If I don't look like this, I'm not good enough. And that's a dangerous mindset. Studies have shown that children who are overexposed to sexualized content are at a greater risk of developing unhealthy body image issues, early sexualization, and even trauma related to their perception of themselves and others. When nudity becomes just another way to gain attention or followers, it loses its context as an intimate or personal choice and becomes a commodity to be bought, sold, and consumed. The more public figures like Bianca Censori embrace nudity, the more it feeds into a cycle of normalization. But this normalization comes at a cost. For children, it's not just about seeing someone's bare skin. It's about being taught that their bodies exist for validation, not for self-expression or personal autonomy. The harm of sexualizing kids or even normalizing nudity in the media is real, and it can affect the way they view themselves for the rest of their lives. Kids are vulnerable. They're still learning about healthy relationships, respect, and boundaries. When nudity becomes something to aspire to, it distorts their understanding of what is appropriate, what is respectful, and what is healthy. It's not just a harmless trend, it's a full-scale cultural shift that could leave lasting scars. And it's not just about Bianca Censori. She's a symptom of a much larger issue. Nudity, when used as a tool for shock, fame, or profit, is harmful to the emotional and psychological development of children. We need to demand better from the media, from influencers, and from the people we let influence the next generation. So what can we do? We can stand up against the normalization of nudity in public spaces. We can protect our children from the unrealistic, harmful standards they are being taught. And we can foster environments where kids are encouraged to value their minds, their creativity, and their hearts, not just their looks. This issue isn't going away unless we actively fight back. If you agree with the dangers posed by public nudity, give this video a like and make sure to subscribe for more important discussions on protecting our children. We need to start having these conversations before it's too late.